You are listening to an exclusive on PodHub Network. Your city, your podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Back to the Burgh, presented by the PodHub Network. My guest today is from Westview, PA, and he's made a name for himself amongst the local comedy scene and is proudly sponsored by the beer drinkers beer, Iron City Beer. Without further ado, the tailgoat himself, Matt Light. Matt, how are we doing today?
I'm good now.
Yeah.
I apologize for the first hour and a half of. I updated my Mac, which is a 2014 Mac.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just paid that off 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, it
Get out
took
of debt.
me. So that took me 6 years to pay it off. Because I thought a credit card, when you get a credit card, it's like, oh, 24%, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought like it's you pay that amount plus 24%.
That's what you think.
Yeah, it's not the case. This MacBook was $1,200. I think I ended up paying like $2,600 for this thing.
Oh my Lord.
Over 6 years. And it's been garbage for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why I don't fuck with credit cards, man.
No.
They get you with that shit.
I just got out of debt, so it's nice.
Yeah. So, all right. So I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but first we start out with your upbringing. What was there to do in Westview? Because, I mean, I'm a Beaver County boy.
Okay.
Obviously, you're an Allegheny County boy. What was there to do?
Well, so like the difference is we had cable television, which was nice. No, I mean, Westview was a really cool area. Most of us played outside. It was like pick up football every day. We played baseball at the church lot. We'd use like a tennis ball, but an aluminum bat so we could just crush it.
Yeah.
Football is really popular in the North Hills area. So that was something that I grew up loving. My dad, I think just being a Pittsburgher in general, you're born with a terrible towel.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't have to like football, but it's just nostalgic to where you just remember Sundays being with the family, and that's what was on TV. And eventually it grows into a fandom.
Yeah.
So really it was like football, man. Football was huge in Pittsburgh because we don't have beaches. We have 3 brown rivers that nobody wants to jump into.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, football, video games really wasn't that popular as a kid for me. I mean, I played them. The only real memories I have with video games is we would drink and drive. We thought it was funny. We were like 10 years old or 11, and I had a Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And we found grenadine in my dad's bar. So we would drink that and then play Crazy Taxi with the steering wheel.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a typical, childhood you'd see in a movie like The Sandlot, but a little bit more, technology.
Yeah. So, like, was there, like, a specific spot you guys had, like a specific park where you'd play football, someplace you'd go afterwards to hang out and talk?
Yeah, so we would go to Monterelli Stadium where the Indians play, and we would climb underneath. We were so little, we could go underneath the fence. So we would play there, and then I remember the one year we thought we were so cool because it was the last year before they got the turf. Like this like $20 million turf field. But the last year they finally did a checkerboard end zone like how Tennessee does.
Yeah.
And it was so badass, like, because we snuck out. We played at like 6 a.m. We all had like matching uniforms, which were like bedazzled T-shirts from Michaels that we made the night before. I mean, it was like, yeah, that was our spot. And then afterwards, we would always go to Center Avenue Slice and eat pizza there because the owner used to give us pizza for free because we would go around the neighborhood and flyer all the doors.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Child labor, nice.
Side hustle. Yeah. But the truth is, when you're 12 years old, you only do it to where he can see you, and then you throw them all away.
Yeah.
And just come back an hour later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like, when did you figure out, okay, I think I'm a funny guy, maybe I should go on a stage?
So I always was funny. When I realized that I should pursue it is when I saw my report card slowly go down throughout each year. Like, it was like, you know how like in Price is Right. That goes the yodeling.
Yeah.
But my grades were just each grade, like 7th, 8th, 9th. It just would plummet. I just didn't give a shit. And one of my teachers actually said to me, he's like, I don't understand. You test so high, but you don't care about school. You don't bring your books. You don't bring a pencil to class. He's like, why don't you just do something you want to do? Like, why don't you do trade school? And I was like, I don't like that. And he's like, well, you're funny. Why don't you try and be on SNL? So I was like, oh, that would be cool, thinking it's that easy to just be on SNL. So I kind of just like followed like my heroes, and tried to pursue stand-up. I really didn't like stand-up that much.
Okay.
Like I did, but like my hero growing up was Tom Green.
Yeah.
Like I think his show was so good. It was before Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
Like he was the main.
Like he was the original.
Jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the OG. And like 3 years ago, I got to open up for him at the Improv.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And I hung out with him the whole weekend, dude. Like, if you would have told like 9-year-old me, who literally bought a camera because of him, that I'd open up for him, I was like, that's it. I don't have to do anything else stand-up wise. This is the coolest thing ever. You can never take this away from me,
Yeah, it's definitely like a career journey come full circle. That's dope. It's really
and
dope.
I told him that story, and he was like, that's so awesome. He's like, but it also sucks because I'm getting old. And I started to laugh.
Oh, man. So with that said, I can assume you didn't go to college.
No.
Okay. Hey, at least you don't have that debt like I do.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I ended up getting debt a more fun way. Yeah, when I was 23, I got cancer. So that was.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. So I had debt out the ass from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
So if you don't mind, what was that journey like?
It was bad. It was so I had Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay.
Same as James Conner.
Yeah.
And we actually were treated by the same doctor. Dr. Marks at UPMC, amazing doctor, Hillman Cancer Center. It was, you know what? I actually had this conversation with Tom Green about it because, when I went, he had testicular, and I remember this as a kid, and we kind of like had a heart-to-heart about it, and it's like, we're not happy that cancer, like we got cancer, but like the perspective of life changes so significantly.
Absolutely.
And you just don't let little things bother you, like people talking shit or somebody cutting you off on the road, or like anything like that I want to do creatively or anything. If you don't like it, like that's cool, man. Like I'm gonna do me. Like I was still doing stand up while I had cancer.
Yeah.
I'd have a chemo treatment, and then I'd wear. That's why these masks don't fucking bother me. I was wearing these at open mics.
Yeah.
I had to wear them, and I would take them off, do my 5 minutes, put them on, and go home. So it's just been it's a hustle since then, and like you just have that mindset that if you can go through hell and back, then fuck it, you're not taking anything from me.
Yeah, I mean that's an awesome way to look about things. Like. I know I feel like I have a good perspective on life as well. Like just like do what you want to do, and if you can make money doing it, that's great.
Yeah.
But like to have the death aspect added onto that, whole nother perspective. So that's awesome. And saying that you got it at 23, I'm 23, makes me think I should go get checked out. So
so here, I'll tell you my symptoms. I had really bad night sweats.
Okay.
And I was having trouble walking, and then so I was like, well, shit, maybe it's because I put on a little bit of weight. So I started eating healthier.
Yeah.
And I lost 50 pounds in a month. Yeah, from just eating better.
Yeah.
So I thought. People were like, you look great. What are you doing? In reality, I'm dying, bitch. Like that's that's what I'm doing. But I didn't know that, right? But once I got down, like I on average I'm like 190-ish. When I at a point where I was, 145, super skinny, and I was like, something's wrong. And so we got all the blood work done, and they were like, we think you have Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now at 23, you just heard a minute ago, I didn't go to college. I didn't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm thinking is it's like an STD. I'm like, listen, if Gemma gave me this, I'm gonna fucking kill her. And they're like, no, it's cancer. And I was like, oh shit, you know. And but I made light of the subject because like my doctor literally was like, all right, so you got cancer. Call who you need to call, and then we're gonna see you tomorrow to do more work on you.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Dude, the first person I called was Make-A-Wish.
Really?
I was like, man, I see
You just
John
look up
Cena
like
with,
the 1-800 number, and you're like, yo,
yeah,
listen.
yeah. I don't even. What was it? 1-800-DON'T-DIE. Like, I don't even know what the number was. But I called it, and I was like, I literally called them, and I asked for a Make-A-Wish. I was like, hey, I think I'm qualified for your new rewards program. And she's like, what? I was like, oh, I came down with the C's. And she was like, oh my God.
With the C's.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm like, listen, I'm going to post a picture of me and get tons of sympathy. I don't need it from you right now. I want my Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
She's like, well, what do you have in mind? And I was like, well, the Royal Rumble is coming to town. And she's like, don't say another word. We will get you tickets and you might meet John Cena. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, all right, first of all, I already have tickets. Second of all, fuck John Cena. She's like, what? I was like, I want The Undertaker to choke slam me through the Spanish announce booth. And she's like, can you hold for a second? So she has me on hold, and I'm thinking, wow, cancer might be the greatest thing ever. Like, I'm about to get choke slammed by a 7-foot monster.
Oh
You know
my
what I
gosh.
mean? She comes back, and she's like, she goes, hey, I forgot to ask you, how old are you? And I hit mute. I'm like, fuck! Like, I gotta tell her how old I am.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm 23. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that for you then. And I was like, that's the only reason why. She's like, yeah. I said, so you're telling me because I'm a grown-ass adult, you're not going to let a grown man through? If I was a 6-year-old battling leukemia, you sick fuck would let me go through a table while Kane lit that shit on fire? Really? She's like, I don't know what to tell you. And then like a week later, they sent me a $50 gas gift card for GetGo. That was it. So,
Oh, man. So, like, let's talk about how you got on stage. Like, what did you start out in your basement, like doing funny skits and stuff, and then move up?
so
to,
we
like,
used to
doing
do
improvs?
like we used to do like the Matt Light show, which was like the Tom Green show.
Yeah.
And we would like mess around with people like in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I always wanted to do stand up at that point, like because I like the attention, and I feel like stand up is like it's me. You know, like if they laugh, it's because of me. If I fuck up, it's because of me. Like
Yeah.
I like that responsibility and not having to worry about others. So I was 18. Sorry, COVID. I was 18, and I worked at an Italian restaurant called Tambellini's downtown. My mom was the manager, and the owner's name was Charlie, and he loved stand-up comedy. Like huge Dice Clay fan, and it was so funny because like he and I talked about how much we hated Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
And this is way before all this. I just like he's a fucking weirdo. I don't like him. He's not funny to me. Like I hated that shit, right? Like I like dirty comedy, and to me he was corny.
Yeah.
So he's like, why don't you put together a show? You want to do stand-up? I'm like, okay. So we do a show. It's packed. There's like 100 people there, but it's all my friends and family. I do like 20 minutes, which is unheard of. You're supposed to do like 5 your first time,
Yeah.
right? In my head, because it's all my friends, I fucking crushed. Like, I was like, oh, I'm calling up Mr. Hollywood right now, get my limo. Like, I'm going to be on SNL. I'm going to have movies named after me. Like, this was the greatest experience ever. So now the Improv has an open mic comedy contest. And they're like, you get 6 to 7 minutes. Go ahead. Good luck. I ate a bag of dicks. Like, terribly, to the point where, like, I literally was like, I'm jumping off a bridge. I'm so depressed. This was terrible. And I talked to a couple comedians that were getting into it. They're like, dude, you're going to suck for a while.
Yeah.
Well, you have good stage presence, keep going at it. And, 13 years later, I made it. I'm on your podcast, bro. I did it. Like, we did it.
Yeah, you're on my shitty podcast.
I'm on your podcast. I don't like doing podcasts, honestly.
Really? Another
I
question I had for you is like, now that like you can't really go and do a show, I mean, you might be able to. Would you want to move over to doing just podcasts?
So my own, yeah.
Okay.
So here's what I've been doing in the meantime. I've been doing power hours. So,
that's awesome.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun. So I go on Facebook Live. I have a bar in my other room down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to request songs. If you pay X amount of money, I twerk on the wall. Like, I'll get, like, completely almost naked, like sumo naked. I hit myself with dildos. Like, I'm an idiot, dude. Like, I don't care. And, like, I'll do karaoke. But, like, it's just been ways to stay creative and being a goofball.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been doing that. We did a Facebook Live dating show, which was so much fun. So it's 8 girls or 8 guys, and they all compete for, like, a date with one person.
Yeah.
So we do it on Zoom, but it's on Facebook Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the people competing with each other can see each other, but you can only hear the guy that you're competing for. And then the final round, they have to send nudes to the dude. And then he has to send them back. And then they show the face. And the funniest part is the reveal. Because, like, these girls will talk shit on the dude. And then I have a hot-ass dude. And they feel so stupid then. And they're like, oh, wow. And then they act all tough. But they're actually DMing them, like, afterwards. Like, hey, maybe we should go when COVID's over. So I've just been doing that. I've been doing sketches. I've had a Twitter account for a while. But I never really used it until COVID.
I noticed that because mean, I follow a lot of Pittsburgh accounts, and then I saw you started to use yours a little more. And like, I think you told me one time on Twitter, you were like, "Wait till Steelers season. That's when I'm going to start going off." And hey, here we are.
Yeah,
you're going off, giving everybody your fucking opinion. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm obnoxious, dude. It's bad.
So what's that experience been like, being able to like talk one-on-one with other fans on the internet?
It's awesome, man. Like, are you saying fans of mine or fans of
Both.
Steelers?
Both.
Fans of mine, I don't believe in that. I think if somebody supports what you do, they're your friend.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the fan thing. I think that's one of the corniest things in the world. I think people that aren't successful say that to make themselves look good. Just be a good person. Treat people like a fucking human. That's your friend.
Absolutely.
But to talk to other Steeler fans, it's awesome. But it's kind of annoying because there's a handful of them that I follow most people back. If you engage with me and interact, I'll follow back. But I just won't follow randomly. But it's like everybody has the same watered down opinion about the Steelers that I'm like, you're literally copy and pasting like for a fucking pizza book report. Like, this is bullshit. I know you don't believe this because if I talk one-on-one with you, you don't know who that guy is. You don't know what this is about. So I don't care, whatever. Like, I think some people do it for more credibility or friendships. But it's awesome, though, like, to bring out the negativity. It's awesome to see how awesome the Steelers fans are.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, you go anywhere. Like, anytime I go on vacation, I fucking pack something Steelers.
Absolutely.
And everybody does that, and I've never seen that with any other team, right?
Yeah.
Like, I never go to Wildwood, New Jersey and see, like, 6 Bengals shirts. Like, dude, my team could be 3-13. I'm fucking rocking a Big Ben jersey.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, that's my city. You know what I mean? So, like, the loyalty from Pittsburgh, overall, when it comes to comedy, like, if they're supporting me, it's been huge. And with football, it's unreal, man. So it's like a cult, man. It's like you're a made man. If I know you're a Steelers fan, like, we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But if somebody else talks shit on the Steelers and you're not a Steelers fan, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you and I can be like, Ben sucks. He fucking, what kind of game is that? But if you're wearing, like, you know what I mean, like an old Carson Palmer jersey, I'm like,
yeah,
he's a rapist. I'm like, shut up.
Yep.
He's the best quarterback ever. I'll tell him he's a piece of shit, but you can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's our kid.
Oh my God. I got into that argument with my girlfriend, like, I think it was before week 1 because she's a Giants fan.
Yeah.
And we were like just going back and forth, like fun jabs. And then she brings up like, oh, he doesn't respect women. And I'm like, what am I going to say? You know, like, he's my quarterback.
Yeah. We're not talking about that. Like,
We're not talking about him off the field. We're talking about him on the field.
Right.
On the field, he's a Hall of Famer. Off the field, questionable.
Highly questionable, you know. But also, when it comes to all that stuff, like, yeah, like, I know of some stories where he's been kind of shitty.
Yeah, me too. I think everybody's heard the stories.
Right? But, like, to the extent, it's like, okay, because I could catch a fish this big, and then it's this big, and then this big, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's as big as Santonio Holmes' dick that was leaked. And he had a hammer, by the way.
He did.
Yeah. So.
But so other things I want to talk about. I noticed in a lot of your comedy, you started to get into the WWE stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
I can tell you're a fan. But what made you incorporate that into your stand-up?
Okay. So, my stand-up character is very – so the one thing that I like about professional wrestling is a lot of the characters are driven from comic books or from something else, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I do that with stand-up but with wrestling, right? So, like, my character was, like, kind of Shawn Michaels' D-Generation X style. Where, like, he's cocky, he knows he's better than you, you know what I mean? And, like, even if you don't like him, like, you have to respect what he does, and good luck following him. You can't follow him on the card.
Yeah.
So I tried to do shit that was so ridiculous that nobody could follow. And here's how it all started. I was supposed to move to Los Angeles in 2015 with a girl I was dating. I was with her for like a year and a half, and we were going to move to Los Angeles. And about 2 weeks before my big going away show, I had 400 tickets sold at the Pittsburgh Improv, $20 a piece. So I'm getting about $7,000 of that money for myself to move to Los Angeles. So excited. I can't wait to go. That money's in an account. All of a sudden, she moves on her own. I got no more money. And I'm like, what do I do? Right? I'm like, this is a disaster, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to the manager at the Improv. I'm like, dude, what do I do? Like, I can't tell them I'm not leaving. Everyone is sending me out. Like, I've done what I did here. It's time to grow. He's like, why don't we do something wrestling like? And I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, well, I'll come fire you like Vince McMahon, and you give me the Stone Cold Stunner. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like, do we need to practice? And he's like, I don't know, should we? And I'm thinking, like, if we practice, he's not going to do it. Because if we fuck it up once, I was like, no, it's real easy, man. So I show him, like, 3 white trash dudes doing a tutorial on a trampoline on YouTube. I'm like, look, it's so easy, right? He's like, all right, let's do it. So we just did it. We just did it on the spot at the show. He sold the shit out of it, like, made it look so awesome. It went viral overnight. It was on Good Morning America like 3 days later. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? For 8 years, I've been trying to get myself out there as a comedian, and all I got to do is flick off a guy, give him a stunner, and I'm a hero. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna start doing this at every show to close out a show, right?
Yeah.
And then I started touring with Rob Van Dam. I was his opener.
Okay.
And I was like, this is awesome. Like, but eventually it just became so hard because when I'm on tour,
I'm sorry. Rob Van Dam does comedy?
kind of.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was like, did he just say RVD?
So he does stand-up comedy, and he really doesn't. It's weird because, like, a lot of these guys do it for a paycheck to tell road stories. Yeah. Rob actually likes the craft of stand-up comedy. He's like a wrestling version of, like, Stephen Wright. So he's getting better for sure. And he has a documentary called Headstrong. which is about concussions, but we filmed it as a documentary about doing stand-up comedy. But what happened was a week before our second tour, he got a concussion. He landed on his ponytail.
Oh, okay.
And got a concussion, so we changed the whole format. So I'm in that. It's on, I don't know, you can find it anywhere. It's called Headstrong. But I'm really two small parts I'm in it. I'm barely in it. But, hey, I'm in it, damn it. So we toured, and, like, Rob was one of those dudes that, like, I didn't know if he liked me at first. And because he would, like, we would tour together, and then, like, he had a guy do all his bitch work for him. And I was like, I don't do that. I kind of do my own thing. And I was supposed to go second to last. Like, it was supposed to go me, then Rob, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Rob was running late. And so the guy that brings him had to go after me, and then it was Rob. And I cut, like, a WWE-style promo where I was just fucking snapping about, like, how I'm the best one on the show. Like, I'm the funniest one. Yeah, you go to buy his, merchandise, but you go home thinking about me, yada, yada, yada. Cutting this WWE promo, I get backstage, and Rob's fucking sitting there looking at me. And he goes, dude, that's like a WWF promo, dude. He gets on top of me and starts fake punching me in the head like I'm on top of the ropes. I was like, oh, shit, he fucks with me now. You know what I mean? So then I became friends with him, and then I talked with John Morrison a lot.
Yeah.
Because I actually booked him with Blackcraft Wrestling. He was our champion, and so it was hard though because I wanted to still be a stand-up comedian. But every time I went somewhere, whether I was doing 5 minutes, everyone was like, "Hit me with a fucking steel chair. Tell me to suck it." So it was like I wanted to get away from that for a little bit, and, like, every now and then maybe bring it as a surprise. But it's so hard to choke slam a woman through a table at a VFW in Blawnox. Like, I can't fucking do it.
No, sorry, that was good.
That's cool.
So that being said, with all the wrestling stuff, is that how you kind of found yourself go and partner with Barstool to do the Rough and Rowdy? Is, like, did they notice that and say, hey, we want you to, like, be the heel in this match? Or how did the Rough and Rowdy go about?
So here's what happened. Barstool had an audition called Barstool Idol, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Francis Ellis won the first one.
Quickly got himself fired, yeah.
Yeah. He said something off taste. I don't remember what it was.
He talked about a woman who was missing, and then they found her the day that he released the blog, and she was burned to death. So that's why he got fired.
Wow, yeah, that's not good. Wow. Okay,
anyway.
So anyway, other than that, so they were doing a second one, and I really wasn't a huge Barstool guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I like Dave. I thought Dave was great, and I think Big Cat was good at PFT. But like KFC, like, he annoyed the fuck out of me, and a lot of the other guys. Yeah. I just thought they were dorks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just thought they, I didn't like the. It was. Remember to break this down, you and I, we had a little DM, and this is what we're talking. How we brought up the Barstool thing about I was in a bitter place. And what it was is I auditioned for Barstool Idol, and I choked completely because I was going to do stand-up and tell betting stories before they got into gambling, because I was going to pitch gambling. And I was going to tell a story about how I bet on when the Pope was going to die at a death pool. Yeah, it's a super funny bit. Right before I go up, they're like, hey, don't do stand-up. Dave doesn't like stand-up. It's not going to work. So now I'm like live in front of these guys. Biggest moment of my career. If they like me, like, I'm set, right? I don't do well. I freeze because everything I wanted to say, I didn't think.
Yeah, like, they sabotaged you by saying he didn't like stand-up.
Yeah, and, like, I thought, like, 100% like I was winning this contest.
Yeah.
No question about it. So I fucking left there so upset. I was in some town in New York called Hell's Kitchen, blackout drunk. I'm MFing everyone at Barstool. Fuck them. They made the biggest mistake of their lives, being a complete poor sport, crybaby asshole. I was on Facebook Live. I think I was crying. I don't remember. I just was so drunk. I was like, "Are you fucking idiots?"
Hey, we've all been there. Drunk on Facebook Live, Instagram Live.
Terrible.
Trust me, I feel the pain.
Here's the problem. On Facebook Live, somehow they saw all of it.
Oh, really?
And they screenshotted shit before I even went after them. So they've been watching me for a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't do well there, and then Mantis wins.
Yeah.
My roommate at the time goes, "Hey, you should go after him on Twitter and fuck with him and tell him you're funnier than him." And I'm like, "Oh, it's genius because he's new to Barstool, so he has the least amount of followers, so he's going to see what I say, and he's going to have to respond, right?" So I go back and forth with him just to get attention, and then Chef comes out.
Yeah.
And Chef was like, "I'll fucking fight you, pussy." What? I was like, "Of course you will. You're 7 foot, and I'm 5'1". Yeah, of course you're gonna fight. You know." So that's how that happened. And then it was pretty much like, "Hey Matt, you're gonna play the bad guy." And my biggest problem was like, it's entertainment, right? Like the whole point of Rough and Rowdy is to watch a bunch of idiots fight.
Yep.
It's not Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Like you want to see a train wreck. That's all you want to see. So they came in town to film me doing like this pre stuff. And I'm like, "Why are you taking this so serious? This is not selling tickets. You can watch me train for 2 hours, 3 hours. The average Joe does not give a fuck about me. Let me shit on him. Let me roast him.
Basically what they should have done is just let you do your WWE promos.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
Let everyone at Barstool hate my guts. Let the fans hate me. I understand what my role is."
Yeah.
You know? So when we did the fight, it didn't go my way at all. And it was really funny. So like a week and a half before, I got a concussion and like dislocated my jaw.
How the fuck that happened?
So because I was actually really training secretly, and I didn't tell them this.
Okay.
And I fought some dude at Fifth Avenue Gym downtown, and I went on. We had to size up against somebody who was my size or his size.
Yeah.
He was a 2-time Golden Gloves champion.
Fuck.
And I blasted him in the face really hard. And people were like, "Oh shit, you ain't gonna let that white boy kill you." Like that. And like it was almost like his switch turned on, like kill. And it was pop, pop, pop. So I forget this because I'm not a fighter. Like when you bite your mouthpiece, right?
Yeah.
I didn't bite it, so my mouth was like this, and I fucking
no.
And like I couldn't eat for like 4 days. I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I'm in so much trouble." Like still clicks, like I get locks. So I'm like, "This sucks. I have a concussion, but I'm not telling them because I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
This might be my chance to get in Barstool." So I go in there. I get knocked out. You know, they said knocked out. I hit, and I was taught when you get hit, roll over and get up. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like 4 seconds. I get up because of the fight. But somehow the fight commissioner said I could fight again. So explain that to me.
That
Makes no
doesn't make
sense. Okay.
But at the same time, it's Rough and Rowdy, so who gives a shit?
Right. So I'm thinking, I just spent all this time training for this moment just to get seen on camera. It's not ending in 18 seconds. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, fuck no.
I was like, I'm taking this fucking show over. I'm hijacking it. I'm showing them why I should be here, why I should be with Barstool, why I feel like I would do great there. And I hijacked the fucking show. In my opinion, I was the most entertaining part of that whole night, you know, and they loved it. Dave was always nice to me. Still talks good things about me, like when they talk about it. But Big Cat, who he and I like kind of not bonded, but like we talked very briefly beforehand. And I was like, "Hey, DVE guys said hi." He's like, "Oh, I love those guys, man. Good luck tonight. Have fun." So we had that little thing.
Yeah.
And then the second I did what I did, he was like, "Fuck this dude," right? Like, "Oh, he's a clown." It's like, well, what did you think I was going to do?
Yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
Like, I came out to Shawn Michaels music. I did the pose. Did you think I was gonna fight him and then like promote another fight? Like, I'm not a fighter. That's not why I got on there.
Yeah.
So I thought like it was gonna be more than that, and it never was. So then on a Barstool episode, I guess they do like these weekly shows,
Yeah.
and they were looking for somebody to fight Stu Feiner for Rough and Rowdy. They brought me up, and
Yeah.
Dave goes, "Oh, he would be 100 times better than anybody else we could get for you." So I thought that was gonna happen. Then Stu got hurt. Something happened to him, and he couldn't do it. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then this is also another inside story that nobody knows this. Do you know of a guy named Superhuman?
Yeah.
Okay, so they reached out to him
Oh God.
to fight Rough and Rowdy. And I know Superhuman, right?
Okay. You know him like personally?
Yeah, and they
Okay.
said, and Superhuman was going to do it, but it was going to be against me.
Okay.
He was going to say the only way I do it is against Matt Light, but he couldn't do it. He's like, we'll fight each other. I was like, yeah, I'll fuck you up. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because like if I go against him, one, I kick his ass, so I look like a bigger bad guy than I already am.
Yeah.
And two, then I can call out Stu, and then I get my match at Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
So I was like, it'll be perfect, right? Then he couldn't do it. So we ended up not doing it, but like that was the plan. It's like I wanted to get back. I hate losing. I'm so competitive.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like even though it was a meaningless fight, that fight, I think about it every single day because I never had a redemption. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I would have got my ass kicked one more time afterwards, or the fight wasn't stopped so quick, I'd have been like, okay, I'm a pussy. Or okay, like I blew my chance with Barstool. But I just feel like I would do so well with them and their audience that, it's just been so hard for me to just let it go. And I've just been using that to try and create more shit in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So now let's talk about the sponsorship with Iron City Beer.
Yeah.
The beer drinkers beer, the best beer there ever is. There ever was. How'd you
Bret
come
Hart
up?
of beers.
What's that?
The Bret Hart of beers.
The Bret Hart of beers. I love that. So how did that sponsorship come about? Because I mean, that's a Yinzer's dream.
Yeah, that was huge. So I worked a lot with DVE, and I did a lot of man on the street videos for them.
Okay.
And my original pitch was to go to every game and have DVE, Iron City, and Permane Brothers. All of them help me get to these games, and then DVE have the content for online.
Yeah.
Well, DVE, like, kind of like when I was talking to my buddies up there, it was kind of like up in the air. There was really nothing going on with it. Permane Brothers, I really couldn't get a hold of anybody. I knew a rep at Iron City because I talked to them previously about having them do my comedy tours.
Yeah.
Because I was going to do local bars every like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sponsored by Iron City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is so much better for them for content and stuff like that. So we pitched a meeting. They said, we love it. We're going to give you 4 games. We'll give you all the divisional games this year. And if it goes over well, then we'll give you next year, all 16. And I was like, great. So I do the first 4, and they did really well online. And COVID hit, and I knew that there was no. My thing is I don't like burning bridges. So like once I knew that like, okay, my gold, what I know that I'm really good at is man on the street, right?
Yeah.
Once I knew I couldn't do that for them this year, I was like, I'm not going to just waste their sponsorship and have them pitch like, oh, the Matty Light 6-pack where I just pick 6 games and bet and like I just was like, I'm just going to wait again until we can tailgate. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to stretch that relationship. You know what I mean? So like I want them to get what they're paying me for.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them to give them that quality. So I worked with them then. I still have a good relationship with them. But as far as sponsoring things, it's really just whatever I feel strong about, they'll do.
Yeah.
But right now, like, I'm a firm believer of like, if it's not good enough, then I'm not just gonna do it to say that I'm Iron City. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm very similar in that way when it comes to content. Like, I'm not going to put out a shit product, and I'm not even sponsored by anybody. Like,
Yeah.
that's just me personally. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit in my room and do a shitty video. Like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have it planned out. I'm going to have like what I need.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to put out shit product, and to have that aspect and also have a sponsor is like, that's the perfect
Yeah.
pairing.
Well, see, I here's my difference. So I don't have a problem putting out shit if I don't have, but I'm not gonna rush it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's like if I do something like you said, if we plan it out and we do it and it just doesn't hit, that's fine. It's out there. Like content.
Yeah,
But when it comes to money, like I want to show you my A+ shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like COVID. A lot of people are making excuses, but like now
This
more
is-
than ever.
This is the time where we gotta bear down, and we're separating the men from the boys. I've said it from the beginning of COVID.
100%. Like all these comedians that are no names but still work weekends at traveling comedy clubs, like I'm right there with them. Like now it's my time to fucking build my audience.
Yeah.
You know, with your podcast, like this is your time to invest in yourself, to work harder because more than ever, nobody's going out.
Yeah.
So there's more time to listen to shit. There's more time to do stuff. So these people are just like, I'm just not motivated. I'm like, then I don't want to talk to you about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Those
like,
are the
if you
people that are like, they need everything to be normal to be able to do what they do.
yeah,
It's
it's
like,
just
if
a
you're not
hobby for you
creative-
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not creative enough to do it while you can't do it, then why are you doing it?
And that's fine if that's your thing, if you just do it for fun and stuff, but don't disrespect the game
Yeah.
by, oh, well, I just haven't had time. Motherfucker, like everybody has time. Make time. Get up
Absolutely.
earlier. Go to bed later. Fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just like, you know, I've never made excuses. Like 13 years where I'm at, like I'm fucking nowhere near where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get there. You know what I mean? Because I fucking believe it.
Exactly.
You know? And I think, you know, if you believe that and you put that out there, it's going to happen, man.
Absolutely.
You know? And I see your shit and your content, man. Like, you guys just hammer. And all it takes is, dude, it's like what I said with stand-up. All it took was one stupid fucking thing that I didn't even plan on posting online.
Yeah, you told me that before. It takes one video.
Yeah, and that was my one video, a dumb fucking Stone Cold Stunner. And then 2 weeks later, there was a Stone Cold Stunner challenge online
Yeah.
that everybody did because of that video. And I just was like, what the fuck? Like, this is insane. You know? And that's all it takes, man.
I was worried that my one video would be what happened this past weekend on my betting show that I do on Twitter.
Yeah.
I cut my finger cutting an onion.
Oh my God.
I thought that was going to be it. If it would have started gushing blood, I think that would have been it, and I would have hated
It's okay, though. That's okay, because you have that one video, man. It's what you do with it. You know what I mean? Because if you get like 25% of the people that watch that shit to watch your next video,
Yep.
and you retain like half of them, you just build a brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
But like, I mean, yeah, like there's obviously like you don't want to be the guy who shits his pants at a Steelers game. You don't want to be that guy.
No.
But you're putting out content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fuck it.
So with the news coming out today that Steeler fans will be allowed at the game this weekend, are we going to see a return of the tailgate? I know there's no tailgating at the stadium parking lots.
Yeah.
But are we going to see you in some aspect at the game?
We will find out tomorrow, probably.
Okay.
For excuse me, for season ticket holders, you have to call in at 11 and 3 p.m. To see if you're qualified for what they call is I think it's a hub of tickets.
Okay.
So 5,500. I honestly am more excited to go to one of these than I am to a packed stadium. Here's why. They will hear every fucking word I say to them.
It's like going to a pirate game. It's exactly like going to a pirate game.
Remember when you'd sit in the left field bleachers and just shit on the away left fielder the whole game? We used to do it to Puig, and he would sit there with his
Yep.
glove and go like this and flick us off.
Yep,
Dude,
100%.
him, and who else was it? There was a.
I
who
know
was
we used to go after Braun. Ryan
Who?
Braun. Ryan Braun.
Oh
We
yeah,
used to go after him too because he had his own underwear and shit.
yeah. There was somebody on the Cubs. Was it Soriano? Yeah.
Yeah.
Soriano, we fucking went after him hardcore. Like, that's what's fun, dude. There was a guy that had his Wikipedia page, and he's like, your wife Andrea's a bitch. And I was like, oh my God.
That was the best. That's why I fucking love these things, man. I fucking love these things. We would go to games, do exactly what you said. Look up a Wikipedia page, be like, all right, where'd this dude fuck up in life? And then yell at him about it.
Yeah, dude. It's so much fun. So, like, it would just be so good to call Carson Wentz a cocksucker, like, yell at him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I hope I'm there. We'll see. Fuck, it would be. I'm so scared about this week, though.
Why?
Historically, we don't play well against them, and they're front four defensively. I'm like, this is going to be a game that we're going to fucking lose. Like, I just feel it, man. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, I just feel like
this is something me and you have very polar opposite Steeler takes. I've noticed that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, you're like the Debbie Downer. Oh, fuck this, we're so bad. But then we win. You're like, okay, yeah, we won. Me, I'm like, okay, we're gonna be good. We got the guys we need. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
You're saying we're gonna lose, and I'm saying we're gonna win. I think we're going to win pretty handedly.
So it's pretty much if you watch a game with me, you would think I'm bipolar and have sports threats. Because, like, I'm literally Randy Quaid from Major League.
Yeah.
Like, where this team is garbage. I told you they were going to the Super Bowl. Like, that's because my problem is we're playing good enough.
Yeah.
For who we're playing. But if we played the way we did against any team with a winning record right now besides the Bears, they would have beat the fuck out of us.
I can agree with that.
You can't have one bad half. And the Steelers have had a bad first half every game they played. So credit Tomlin to adjusting the second half. But my problem is, why do you wait?
Yeah.
Like against Houston last week or 2 weeks ago, go after Deshaun Watson. Fuck him. What has he done? He hasn't done shit all year. Let him do what he does. They didn't send the rush. And then did you notice that they weren't going after him? They were just blocking the holes so he couldn't get away.
Yeah. They're making him sit in the pocket.
Go hit him. Fucking hit him so he –
See, the thing that I saw there was I was like, I think they just had faith in their outside linebackers to get to him. Yeah. That's the way I saw it. They're just like, okay, we have two of the best outside linebackers in the game. They're going to get them.
Yeah, I like that. But there's problems where you have Vince Williams covering a fucking wide receiver.
Yeah.
I
did not like that.
I love him interior. When that dude has to cover somebody, fuck off.
Yep.
But that's any middle linebacker. That's nothing against him. The middle linebacker, when the middle linebacker takes up a wide receiver, they're going to be open every time. That's how Keenan Allen fucking killed us against the Steelers, 2-3 years ago. We were up 20 at halftime. And they just picked on the middle linebacker. And then what was his name? Allen, the safety.
Probably.
He fucking clotheslined Joe Hayden in the end zone. Right to him. So, yeah, I'm very negative.
Yeah, see, I like to keep the positivity going, man.
I'm positive until they start fucking up. And they start fucking up, I call for everyone to be fired.
Yeah.
The fucking guy.
You're the perfect Yinzer.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that's selling popcorn in section 138, get the fuck out of here, man. It's his fault too. He tripped down them fucking – it's everybody's fault. You know?
Oh, man. Well, Matt, I want to thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. It's good to meet you.
I don't think we've ever had this many laughs on the show.
Yeah.
We got a comedian, so I guess
There
it
you
was
go.
warranted.
I did my job.
But yeah, also it was great to finally meet you. I know we've had a rapport on Twitter for a little bit,
Oh yeah.
even though it started in a negative manner because I'm
That's
an idiot.
okay.
But
Hey, listen. Hey, that's how mine started with Barstool, right?
yeah,
So maybe there's a happy ending for both of us.
let's hope.
Let me plug my shit real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing I was forgetting was you need to plug your shit.
Yeah. So I just started a Pittsburgh clothing company, which is better than all the other ones. Here's why. Because mine is actually printed in Pittsburgh. It's not printed on a fucking internet website.
Yeah.
So it's actually really screen printed. It's not digital bullshit. But it's called Yins. It's
Those are dope
YNZ.
shirts.
Dude, you know why I like these shirts? So we got the tags printed on the inside. They're very soft. And so like guys like me who like from here and up, I look like I'm not fat, but
Yeah.
I have a pregnant belly.
Yeah.
So these shirts are designed so the arms and the chest are super tight, but the stomach doesn't stick out. So they're 90-10 cotton. They're made by Next Level. Dude, they're awesome, man. So go check it out, yinsclothing.com. And since we had to bring up some wrestling, this is the wrestling version.
Oh yeah, the NWO shirt.
Hell yeah. So this one's about to sell out soon, actually.
Oh shit.
There it is, man.
I need it to be Friday so I get my paycheck and I can buy one.
Hell yeah, bro.
But yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to buy some of that gear.
Thanks, bro.
I mean, you sold it pretty well. It makes fat people look not fat, and that's exactly what I need.
I needed something for myself. I gotta wear it too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt, thank you for coming on the show, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks, brother. Go Steelers.